So hey there guys, Erin here again, another full day of eating on the ketogenic diet. Today I am starting my day out with some black coffee. I do normally start my days off with a few cups of water in the morning, and then I have my coffee, so my coffee is not the first thing that I drink in the morning. And then throughout the day I do drink several glasses of water. I guess I just don't show that, but I got the question of how much water am I drinking in a day, and I'm typically drinking between 10 and maybe 13 cups of water each day, just depending on how thirsty I am. I do drink more water on days that I sauna, which is pretty much every day, so I am pretty close to that 13 cups of water each day. So to answer that question, I drink a decent amount of water throughout the day. So I have been practicing either black coffee in the morning or a coffee with a slight amount of cream in it, less than a tablespoon, just depending on what I feel like that day. And then I do limit myself to 2 meals. So I do practice an intermittent fasting keto style of eating. Today I'm going to be making porchetta or pork shoulder. I'm going to be showing you guys how I go about cooking that. The cooking time and the amount of spices will vary depending on the size of pork shoulder that you buy. I'm also going to be eating some chicken wings for lunch because they are going to be expiring in a couple days, so I want to make sure that I don't waste food and I get anything that I've purchased eaten and out of the way. I'm also probably going to be eating a lot of salads today because I have a mix of salad that needs to be eaten because it's also expiring within the next few days, and so I probably need to go shopping soon. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into this full day of eating. I hope you guys enjoy these 2 recipes and that you find them helpful as you go forward on your own ketogenic journey. For lunch, I made chicken wings. I have a full chicken wing recipe. I will link that above. First, I take the chicken wings out, and then I take a paper towel and remove any of the dampness, and then coat them in a light coating of baking powder, salt, and pepper. The amount is kind of depending upon how many wings I'm making, but you just want the wings to be kind of lightly grimy. Then I put them in the oven at 275 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how many I'm cooking. This just dehydrates out the skin. And then after that time is done, I crank the heat up to 425 and cook them for an additional 25 minutes. So while they're cooking, I made a blue cheese sauce. So I just took about 3 ounces of blue cheese and mixed it with 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and half a teaspoon of onion powder. Just mix that all together, put that in the fridge so it was allowed to firm up while the chicken wings were cooking. Once I was in the last 15 minutes of cooking the chicken wings, I made my own buffalo sauce with 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil, and then about 6 tablespoons of this hot sauce. You can use whatever hot sauce you like, but this just makes it kind of sweet and spicy at the same time. And then I added in half a teaspoon of cayenne powder, mixed that all together. Once the chicken wings were fully cooked, I took them out of the oven and put them in a bowl, and then just coated them with the sauce, so that way each piece was coated with the sauce. And yeah, it turned out perfect. I paired it with a salad, so this is just that Mediterranean mix that I buy from Costco. I just use the lettuce and I throw out all the toppings, and then I put on this about 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds, 2 tablespoons of a homemade garden salsa, and then I use the Primal Kitchen's ranch dressing, which is an avocado oil based dressing, and then because it's from Primal Kitchen, even though it's ranch, it is dairy free. So this was my lunch. It held me over, lots of protein, lots of fat because there's fat in the sauce. And then I did coat this all over with the blue cheese. I really like my wings kind of messy, so I usually just dump the blue cheese on top. And then, like I said, there's about 2 tablespoons of that ranch dressing on my salad. And then the hemp seeds are a great source of fat and protein, as well as tons of different micronutrients. So very great lunch and held me over. So when it came time to make dinner, this is my pork shoulder. This is a 2.85 pound pork shoulder, just for reference, so almost 3 pounds. I try to buy cuts without a big bone in it because they can have a huge bone in it, and I try to buy cuts that have a decent amount of fat. So the mixture that I have on top of here is 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, 1 tablespoon of regular salt, 2 tablespoons of ground black pepper, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 3 teaspoons of dried parsley, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of fennel seed, and then 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. I put this mixture on about 12 hours before I intend to cook it, or 12 to 24 hours before I intend to cook it. So I put this on the night before at about 9 o'clock, and then just put it in a large enough food container and just let that mix marinate on there, so that way all the flavors got trapped in there. And then I cooked it in the oven at 450 degrees for about 30 minutes, and then I dropped the heat down to 325 for an additional hour. So you want to, on that last round, you want to cook it for about 20 minutes per pound of meat that you have, and that gives it a good flavor. Also, I used a pan that had a rack that went over it that has holes in it, and under that is about a thin layer of water, so like half of a centimeter of water, just enough to create steam. And then when it comes out of the oven, I want the internal temperature to be over 170 degrees, and then I wrap it in aluminum or tin foil just to help to allow the juices to re-enter the meat, and just kind of let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. So while it's resting, I did make a salad, and like I said, I was trying to use up all of the salad mix that we had left over because it was about to expire. So this is about 2 cups each for me and my husband of salad mix. I did again use that Primal Kitchen's ranch dressing on this, and then I grated up some sheep's milk cheese and put that on top, and then I did, of course, put on some more hemp seeds because I want to get those micronutrients in. So this is kind of a repeat salad from lunch, but you know, very easy to make and just an easy way to get your greens in, to get some fiber in, and then to get some good micronutrients in. So once the meat had rested, I just sliced it up and then just portioned it out between my husband and myself. This cut of meat makes about 2 servings. So this was our dinner for this day and then our lunch for the next day. Very easy meal overall. I mean, all I really had to do was rub some seasoning on some pork and then put it in the fridge for a few hours, and then just take it out, put it in the oven, change the oven temperature, and I get really great seasoned meat. I would describe this meat as a bacon roast. It's so good and so tasty, and lots of fat, lots of good protein. Pork has a very high potassium count, so if you're trying to get your electrolytes in from different sources, this is a great one. The day after, my ketone levels were in the 3s. I want to try to incorporate that more so that way you guys see kind of what my ketone levels are with me eating this way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you found it informative and that you can use these recipes going forward on your own ketogenic diet journey. So if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!